All right, love, let's start recording.
All right there, fella. You fancy going down to the villa?
If there's anything I learned as a DM, it's your bad impressions are good character voices.
Oh, fantastic character voices. Absolutely couldn't agree more. I think... I remember, oh my god, once I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm going to do Al Pacino. And then someone came up and was like, dude, that Smurfs impression was great. I was like, what the fuck?
Listen, I know that Statham is Cockney, but he's so just singularly ridiculous that it's like, I'm not trying to do Cockney accent. I'm doing Jason Statham, right?
But would you say that to his face? Would you tell him that his voice is singularly ridiculous?
He would come up to here, he'd come up to my chin, and then he'd hit me in the solar plexus, and I'd die.
Yeah, for sure. Oh no, I think he'd hit you in the throat first. I feel like he'd crush your windpipe first so that you stop talking, and then he'd solar plexus kick you.
And it would zoom into my body like Mortal Kombat. You can see my bones breaking. Yeah, Misha, decide if any of this is funny, because we're going to start the podcast. Welcome to Games and Feelings, an advice show about playing games, being human, and dealing with the fact that those games will involve other humans. I'm your question keeper, Eric Silver, and the game that is the most satisfying to me to win is Mario Kart 8 Online, because I know when I win, I'm beating some child, some 12-year-old child at it, who plays Mario Kart only, this is all they do, especially because of how weird my schedule is. Sometimes I play at like 1 p.m. I know I'm beating some child somewhere around the world. They'll taste my pain of being DK in like a 1930s Mercedes car. Jasper Cartwright, perpetual guest and co-host. See, I'm upgrading you. You're both now. Wow. What is the game that is most satisfying to you to win?
Well, actually, beating my wife at Risk is huge because she takes it very seriously, and beating her really does feel like an accomplishment because she's very good at the game. So that's good.
we gotta play Risk when I'm there.
Gotta play Risk. We've got different kinds of Risk as well, my guy. We've got Risk Legacy. We've got Risk Europe, I think it's called, with like castles and stuff, and it's got a weird knight that looks like Robert Downey Jr. on the front cover of it. Like it's really weird how it's just buff Robert Downey Jr. in armor. It's like they did a face scan. The most satisfying game for me to win, probably like any physical sports game. Like the level of just, in fact, I'm going to give an even more specific reference here. Ping pong. There is nothing like a good table tennis match when you are in it. I have one friend who, shout out to Abe, my good friend Abraham Buckoak, he has beaten me pretty consistently for about the last 5 years at ping pong. Like, we're good. We have good matches, but I just fall apart at like match point, and he comes back and wins. And he just has an unreal defense as well. Like I'm more of an offensive game, but he just returns everything. Sure. And we played recently, and I beat him, and we were in the middle of this like ping pong bar in London, and I literally lost it like in a completely unacceptable way. Like in public, you would have thought I just won gold at the Olympics. I went crazy, and everyone's looking at me, and he was hyped. He was so happy for me because he was like, "Yes, you did it! You beat me!" Yeah, like because he just refuses to like go easy on me and let me win one. He's like, "You have to earn this." So that felt huge, frankly.
The hardest thing about that ping pong bar is that it's like Wimbledon. You got to wear all white.
Yeah,
there are very specific censure rules.
And it's a super sloppy ping pong like nightclub bar. So everyone you wear white and then it gets trashed real quick. Like what would the nightclub version of Murray Mount or Henman Hill be? I'll think of one. During the course of this episode, I'm just going to shout out a random thing, which I think is the equivalent to the random location that 4 of our listeners are going to understand the reference to.
Yes. Are those your friends, Murray Mount? That's your friend who really loves ping pong?
I wish. You know what Murray Mount and Henman Hill is, right?
No, what's that?
Oh, it's like, so there's a hill outside of Wimbledon where they have a big screen on the side of the centre court, and on court one, sorry, and you can sit on Henman Hill or Murraymount and watch the tennis. And it's like a very famous spot to go and watch the tennis.
That's just there's a second level where there's a slightly worse version of the bar.
Nice.
On the second level. They only have like 4 of the beers and they can make only 3 types of drinks. And you're like, it's the same price. It's the same price.
We've all been there, right? Where you sit next to the crap bar and you're like, what do you mean? Why is this warm? Why is this beer warm? You mean you don't have a fridge here? Why don't you have a fridge at the like what?
Jasper, there's so much space up here. Let's go up here.
I remember I've had so many times I've been offered ice in my beer. They're like, well, if it's too warm, why don't you put ice in it? And I'm like, excuse me? No.
We're already bringing up the thing that bothers me the most about your country, other than like the rampant colonialism. The second thing is your beer. And so I don't even want to touch this, but if you want to touch it, you should come to the live show August 19th in Manchester. You should come.
Yeah, you need to come. We'll talk about beer. I can't express to you. I went to Belgium recently, as I spoke about on the show, and the beer, Eric, I could live there and die happy. It was marvelous. It was the beer was so good. It was so good.
Can I tell you a funny story about Belgian beer?
Please.
So the last time I went to Europe, before I'm going to see you in the UK on August 19th and a little bit before, so we can hang out and I'll bother you.
Come along.
I'm just going to hover around you and just ask you to play board games with me. The last time is that I went with Amanda to Belgium and Amsterdam because VidCon Europe was out there in Amsterdam. And we ended up spending some time in Belgium before we ended up taking the train to Amsterdam. And our train was super early. It turns out, though, that one of the oldest breweries in the entire world was opening their doors, which they only did once every 3 years.
What?
And it turned out that it was like a 10-minute walk from the train station. So at 7 in the morning, we went to the train station, put our stuff in the lockers, and then
those lockers are so helpful.
They're very helpful.
They're crazy really helpful. Great. Wow, what a thing I discovered in Belgium.
We went over there, and then we did this tour. And so at 8 in the morning, we had spontaneous fermentation sour beer. Just like with the ones, they just have like these vats of beer out, and they want, because of it's always like, what is it, like 18 degrees Celsius at all times. They just like have it out, and only the good bacteria that makes good beer gets into the beer. And it was so funny drinking the sour beer at like 8 in the morning. The other funny part was that there were various guides of different languages ready to give tours. There was a French one and an English one.
Well, they don't have a dominant language in Belgium. It's like it's either Dutch or French, and then a little bit of German.
Yeah. So, but there were like 5 different people there ready to give tours, each in a different language. So we did the English one, of course. Jasper, can I tell you? We had the oldest, driest British man giving this tour, and he did not like me.
He didn't like the loud American at all.
No, he did not. And like, I was just so excited because it was just like, I love sour beer. I love spontaneous fermentation beer. So I asked all these questions, and he's like, no, he's like, shut up. I'm lecturing. And Amanda's like, oh my God.
I can literally picture it as well. Like, you're just so excited. Like, with your little beer hat on or something. It's got like a little foam beer on the top. You know what I mean? And you're just there asking. And the second this guy clocks you, he's just looking at you like, please be French. Please be French. Please be. He's walking towards me. No, be French.
No.
Be French. No, he's fucking American as well.
So he's like, hey, so do you know the 4 ingredients that goes into beer? And I'm just like, water, hops,
me,
grain,
pick me. And he's like, it's not, this is interactive. I just asked the question out of habit. I'm going to tell you the answers. Sit down, sir.
It was yeast. Yeah.
You're just getting dragged out of the brewery.
Yeast. Fuck. So yeah, it was. I thought you would enjoy that, but yeah, that was me at 8 in the morning at a Belgian brewery.
That's very fun. I'll bring it full circle though, just to say that there is some very fun spots to grab a drink in Manchester, and places that do some actually legitimately good beer.
I'm stoked.
So very, very excited to show you that and to correct some wrongs. Because I'll be honest, on the whole, our beer is really bad. Like, not even bad, like dishwater bad. Like, most places you go, if you get a draft beer, it just tastes like soap. It's not good.
Oh, no.
But there is some places, so don't worry. We'll sort you out. We'll have a good brewski when we're together in Manchester, August 19th. Make sure you book tickets. Make sure you're there.
Yeah, you're going to hear me talk about how I love the proliferation of canned cider in your country.
Sure. Yeah,
it wasn't
absolutely.
a thing. It wasn't a thing, cider, for a long time in the United States. So, like,
Really?
I got some from, like, because I went to summer camp in Canada for a very long time. So, like, one of the first drinks the first alcohol I bought legally, because I was, like, 19 in Ontario, the drinking age is 19. I bought, like, Magners, you know, and I'm just like, this is neat. I like this.
Yeah, it's that's weird. I think, well, to be honest, that's the influence probably comes from your version of Jason Statham and where he's from, because they make a lot of cider and stuff down there.
All right, love, can you take
We got a little apples down here. We have, yeah, good. Yeah, let me get the tractor. I'll make a big vase cider for you.
All right, love, can I just get a few cans of cider there, please?
All right, there, bruv.
It's just like my brain, as soon as I say, all right, love, my brain shuts off and I don't know what I'm going to say next. I've been doing quote unquote, Jason Statham impressions for Jasper the last 30 minutes, and he has made it now canon in the podcast. We cannot cut it out. Now I have to explain it.
Absolutely.
All right, love, here's what I'm going to do. Jasper's been explaining to me that this impression is a British country bumpkin.
It's a West Country version of Jason Statham. That's what you do. It's not Cockney.
No, it's not. It's not.
I would say it's in West Country, glancing in the vague direction of London, is what your accent is doing currently.
It's like, all right, love, one day I'm gonna move to London. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god. Okay, we have to move on, otherwise I'm gonna be stuck on this forever.
No, let's do the podcast.
Let's do the podcast.
Well, let's do the games that are giving us feelings now that we're all loose. Jasper, do you have a game that's giving you feelings?
I do. I know that we, sometimes our opinions of certain companies aren't the best, but I'm really into Magic the Gathering right now.
That's
fine.
This is a pro playing Magic the Gathering podcast. Just the business model behind Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Misha is now busting through the DAW, ready to fight. It's like the game is wonderful.
Yeah. If it makes it any more, this might make it better or worse. 90% of the cards that I own were sent to me for free, because they were like, "You're a nerd and you're in the space. Have some Magic the Gathering cards." And basically, up until recently, I didn't have a clue how to play. And then two of my very good friends were like, "Wait, you have all of those cards just sat there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to learn to play." So they taught me. Turns out Magic the Gathering, really, really simple.
Very fun.
And
very fun. Yeah.
Very addictive. And so then I immediately went and opened all my packs at home. And I bought myself some little sleeveys for my cards. And I was like, "Ooh, look at the little sleeveys. Now they won't get damaged. Ooh, yeah, love it."
Classic.
And so, yeah, having a great time sleeving all of my individual Magic the Gathering cards. And then did go out and buy a Lord of the Rings Magic set, because I really, really wanted to have Black Aragorn in my deck somewhere. So the feeling it's giving me is okay. I have to explain this, but impatience, because I feel like I wasted loads of time not playing with these cards that were just sat there. So now I'm like, I need to make up for the time.
You're just like, "Oh, hey, Wizard of the Coast. I'm just everyone's favorite British black nerd. Would you like to send me more cards for no particular reason that I'd love to tweet about, if that's okay with you? Would you like that?" Bat your eyelashes, bat.
If you think that I'm not going to implore Amanda to give me the video version of this recording, which we have via the Zoom, just so that people can see you swishing hair. Bear in mind you specified that I'm black, and then you continue to swish what I'm only assuming would be long blonde hair. It's really, really entertaining to me. But yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm absolutely going to be hitting up the people that sent me these cards and be like, hey, just so you know, I'm actually really into this now, so it won't be a complete waste if you want to send me more. Because it was a complete waste when you first sent me them the first time.
If there's another division you would like to give me free things for, it's the same address, my man.
Listen, I'm going to tick some more boxes for you if you need. Just send me some more cards, okay? Because I need them.
Listen, I can't blame you about wanting to collect. Like, the business model behind Magic the Gathering, they're really just like turning it to fandom and just squeezing as much money out of the people who like things as possible. But at the same time, like, I've been thinking about this in terms of Magic, in terms of like Funko Pops, and in terms of like this used to be Super Smash Bros, but like they rebooted the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl game, which is like another fighter with like Nickelodeon characters, and they just like rebooted it, and today they said that Squidward and Jimmy Neutron were going to be in the game. I don't know if that means anything to you. Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I do like this. I like that I get to fight as Squidward. I like that there's a Funko Pop of the Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! That I'm going to buy.
Hell yeah.
There's nothing I can do. I am a singular person with interests, and yes, thank you for making something that I like. I get it.
Yep.
Just, you know, don't flood the market, please. Looking to give everyone their favorite thing.
Yeah,
and those designs of Aragorn were tight as fuck.
I don't know whether... I don't genuinely haven't followed much. I've literally only just come into the space, but I feel like if it's like a multitude of other things, it's like there's always going to be someone trying to wring it for every cent that is is available. And I was hearing about the One Ring and how much it sold for, and I was like, sweet baby Jesus, that is wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the thing itself is like, great. Oh wow, you're making Lord of the Rings cards, and then when you make only one card, you know what you're doing. Like, it's like, oh, oops, there's only one card of this in that we put into our big industry and it's super rare, and people will spend thousands of dollars on it.
I am correct though in thinking that the person who pulled that spent thousands of pounds or dollars or whatever buying that deck and that pack and then eventually pulling that card made a lot more money than they purchased.
Sure.
In then selling the card.
From what I understand,
and which then is then it's only one person also, which is like very important to stress that like they're making multiple thousands from multiple people. But for this one guy, it worked out perfectly because he spent a lot of money on one pack and then sold it for like $1 million or something stupid.
Yes, I didn't know if it was like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory situation, where it's like, oh, he accidentally opened up this chocolate bar and then the golden ticket was in it, or if you're like, I don't know how much they were spending. I think it ended up being like someone from Canada, just some dude, instead of like a YouTuber buying cajillions of packs to see what would happen. So like, good for them.
I think part of the thing though is like, 'cause I think it might have been an event or something that apparently the One Ring got pulled. But like the thing that I was thinking in my head though is like, I feel like as wizards, you kind of have to make that the case, because like you can't just run the risk that some schmo like me who has no idea what they're looking at busts open this pack and goes, oh, sick, the One Ring. You know what I mean? And then it just sits on my shelf for like 2 years, and then eventually it's all dogged and like I've stepped on it a couple times. It's sat in the bottom of my bag, and then it's like, oh, by the way, that was worth like $1 million. I mean, you should. That's what you get when you do a random card. That's what I'm saying is, once you start gaming it, or once you start juicing the money out of it, sure. Then like I'm saying on behalf of the human experience, I like it when there's a lot of stuff made about the things I like, and I can gather it in multiple ways, right? Yep.
And that's going to be part of the game that's giving me feelings. I think once you start squeezing it and turning it into like corporation stuff and just money, it's just money juice. And I could say this about a lot of things, like, the fact that Mattel is going to make 45 IP movies now that Barbie blew up. Or like I can say it about the Marvel movies and TV shows, and or when you start to see, and maybe this is just us from having like seeing behind the scenes of creative stuff, where you're like, you're doing this because you know it's going to be popular. Well, like when I see a TV show and I'm like, oh, you're trying to get TikToks out of this. Then I'm like, I don't like that sucks. I don't like that you're doing it. Just do it. Just do the thing to make it the human experience of what we're doing for art and toys. It's supposed to make people happy, right? But then when it becomes a money sponge, That's what really bothers me. And I know that everyone's just trying to make it a money sponge because that's what capitalism does. I'm just saying that stuff, the inherent thing, Jasper, I'm so happy you're getting into Magic the Gathering. That's wonderful.
Yay.
And just the business model just makes me feel achy sometimes.
Absolutely, hard agree, but Black Aragon won me over.
But like good. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to fight Black Aragorn. I don't want to put you down.
Well, the thing is, you'd lose, my guy. Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, you would get beat up. Like it wouldn't even be a contest. Okay, like White Aragorn maybe, but Black Aragorn,
Hey, I cannot take Viggo Mortensen Aragorn either. Please.
And you've got more of a chance. This Black Aragorn fucks. Viggo Mortensen's Aragorn doesn't fuck. So that's like a big distinction between the two.
True. No, absolutely true. I'm not trying to denigrate Black Aragorn. Like, great. It's just, it always gets messy when you talk about Magic cards.
What game is giving you feelings?
The game that's giving me feelings, I think, is all of the games that are giving me feelings is that I'm moving soon. We're moving our
Game of Life.
Yeah. I'm spinning the little wheel, and I got a 9, and now I got in my little car.
Move
and
house.
Amanda,
yep.
And the little peg of Amanda is also in the car, and we're moving. No, we have to move apartments because my landlord raised our rent by $1,000, so we were not allowed to live there anymore. So we had to find a new place, and it's fine because it's only like a few blocks away. We're still trying to stay in the same area because of the studio, and we still want to be able to walk to the studio. But we're moving like on Sunday and Tuesday. And we've had to pack up. We've been living in this apartment for 4 years. So we had to pack up everything. I ended up recording a lot of this week has been absolutely hell. I've been recording a ton of stuff in the library, which is like the spare room where we have this extra bed, and also the King of Games is there, our BC, and also our books are there, and also a lot of like our games merch, right? And I missed all of my stuff. The feeling I have is like a real kind of like the opposite of nostalgia, just the sorrow of things gone. And it's just in boxes. I see them. The boxes are behind me. But man, I really miss all of my stuff. And I want to put my stuff in because of this weird in-between, because everyone's moving on the first of the month. I've had to have all this stuff in boxes, and I can't I had to keep out my little Vanillish plush, the one that's Ditto's face on a little Vanillish that I got from the Pokemon Center. Like, I had to keep it out to be like, yeah, I like these things. These are my things.
I like having them around. They make me feel nice. Yeah. I get that. I recently rejigged my office and everything. And it was because it's just been in a kind of state of slight disarray, and going through and be like, oh, I have all these cool things that I can put out because they're pretty and I want to show them off. And and I didn't realize that I enjoyed it as much as I did. But then getting it out, I was like, oh, this feels good. This feels nice.
A quick whiff of Patasane update. Because of this new office rearrange, what is the closest piece of Pokemon merch to you?
Oh, I have Pokemon cards somewhere, but let me just double check I've got nothing else. I have a Pokemon Lego thing in there. I have a Golem one behind me there, and I know in there is a little Pikachu Lego thing.
Okay, so different, but it's still the same day. It's still the same distance. It's in the other room. All right, that was a quick whiff of Patasane update.
Quick whiff of Patasane, very important.
Another modern thing about this is I need to make sure the back of my Zoom looks cool. I need to make sure my webcam captures my cool shit. So for the first time in a long time, usually in the library, I have we have all these pennants up, which is usually what everyone sees. And of course, those were gone. I just had packing boxes behind me, and I'm like, fuck, you can't see any of my cool stuff.
Well, yeah, I literally, because today I started filming some stuff because I'm going to be making a YouTube channel, and I was like, what does my backgrounds look like? So yeah, I've literally been doing exactly the same thing.
Jasper, we can make TikToks now. I love TikTok, and so we can make TikToks together.
I'm waiting until the last possible second until I have to be on TikTok. I will be on TikTok very soon because I've been told by my editor, who's working on the YouTube with me, that he's not putting in all this effort unless I'm going to be on TikTok because it's important. So I have to do it, but I am waiting until as late as possible. I just don't want another social media website in my life now.
It's a content. Don't think about it like Twitter or Instagram. It's more like a TV channel. Think of it like YouTube and Twitter mushed together.
That sounds awful. Have you seen Twitter right now?
But it's been no. The good part, what Twitter was like a few years ago, mushed with like the algorithm of YouTube. It actually like is like memes, and then you just like make little things, and there's like some Vine sprinkled in there as well.
I do like some Vine. I do like and miss Vine. So
we can make TikToks. They'll be great.
No, I will be on it. On it.
We'll do it. We'll make some stuff together, and then we'll post it on each other's channels. It'll be great.
Ooh, look at us go. That'll be good.
I'm Eric the Silver. I've got some videos go viral. It's been pretty cool.
I will be on there at JW_Cartwright because that's where I am everywhere. And if I find out someone's taken it, I will kill
I'm going to take. Do you want me to sit on it for you?
Actually, I think I might have already actually claimed it, so I think it's fine.
Okay, cool. Hey, it's Eric, and I got you chocolate-covered strawberries. It's not romantic. I can just get chocolate-covered berries for my bros and my podcast listeners. I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds delicious. You know what's another delicious treat is coming to the live show in Manchester on August 19th at 7:30 in the UK. It's in Manchester at the Empty Space. Tickets on sale now. A lot of you are coming out, and I want all of you who can to come out. Europe, wherever you're from, wherever you are in Europe, take those trains. Take those trains you tell me so much about. Please, I would love to see your faces. And so with Jasper and Amanda and our special guest, please come on out. Go to gamesandfeelings.com/live and get your tickets in Manchester, the United Kingdom, in Europe. Incredible. You're probably spending your money on the tickets, but you can also support us by being a part of the Patreon at patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. Everyone should probably check their Patreon because Patreon was having some issues in the beginning of this month, and make sure you didn't get automatically canceled or like your credit card, even though it's the same credit card you always used. Just make sure that it was fine. And shout out to producer level patrons, Polly Burridge, Kelsey Duffy, and Peyton, who are all coming to the Manchester live show. So you'll see them there. That'll be great. Patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. You should listen to the other shows in the Multitude Podcast Collective, just like Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but want to be its friend. Dr. Moya McTeer and Karine Caputo demystify space one topic at a time with open eyes, open arms, and open mouths because they're laughing and clapping so much. And they're going, this is so great. By the end of every episode, the cosmos will feel a little less scary, a little more berry, which you love. You love berries. Every week, every Monday, new episode. Go check it out. Pale Blue Pod. We are sponsored this week by PotionSlingers, a wonderful deck building strategy card game who I worked with to make a card just for them. It's a special Games and Feelings card where you play a game inside the game, and it makes sense because PotionSlingers is deck building with a twist. The decks are built while you play, and cards stick with you until you use them and you stack and combine them. Super accessible for fans of multiplayer deck building and for new tabletop RPG players. Everyone has their own play style, and you can flip cards over and figure out how you want to play. It's weird and wild, and the art is kind of like this magical junkyard aesthetic that I think you're really going to love. If you hear the phrase alt weirdo and you think, oh, fuck yeah, dude, that's in the copy, this game is 100% for you. So go check it out now. If you go to PotionSlingers.com and use code FEELINGS, you can get the special Games and Feelings sticker that you put on your card, and you get 10% off your purchase. Like, you take the sticker and you put it on the blank cards so you can make whatever card you want. So you can get the one that I made. So PotionSlingers.com, code FEELINGS for 10% off your purchase and the Games and Feelings card. And now, back to the show. Jasper, you want to answer some questions?
Okay.
Okay. Well, the first thing, we can start with an update. It's updates.
Breaking news.
Don't worry, Jasper. This one is not about someone in Queens liking your opposite football team.
Listen, for a second, I did think, like, is he back?
This is Brian from Queens.
Have we got, like, a really kind of, like, pseudo actually have a relationship now? Because we are, like, pen pals via Eric, via the Games and Feelings email.
Yeah. All right, this is from Taking a Dive, ? Who wanted to let you know that I followed up on your advice. They were the ones who were figuring out
with their partner.
No. We will see if we get an update from that one. No, this is from the, I think it was a preschool teacher or a daycare worker who needed to figure out how to play if they needed to intentionally lose against the kids that they were watching. And Taking a Dive says, I took your points to a team meeting, and now we are all on the same page of how we approach playing games with the children. Thank you for your help. We actually helped.
Look at that. Look at us.
Yeah.
I can't remember what advice we gave, but it probably was good.
I think what we said was like, be kind and don't dunk on the kids, but there will become a point where they will actually beat you and then lose with dignity.
Yes, and I think, that was it. And then it was about making more satisfying and gratifying when they actually win because they deserve to win.
Right, because kids know. They know if you're dogging it. They totally 100%. Know. So we actually helped, which is crazy.
Yeah. If Eric Silver can work it out, then the kids definitely can. So... I don't know why I decided to dunk on you then. That was so unnecessary.
It's okay. I did the whole thing with the hair earlier. You got me.
Yeah, you did give me blonde hair earlier. You deserve that. In which case,
I'm coquettishly flirting with a company. Come on, I'm flipping my hair.
I don't know why I'm flipping here.
Anyone can flip their hair. Anyone.
Not true. Jason Statham, for instance, cannot flip his hair.
Okay, good example. Yeah, specific example. All right, love. I'm just gonna flip my hair over my shoulder. All right, we have a very interesting question that I've been sitting on for a little bit. This is from Lonely and Learning, she, her. Hi, I recently started learning to play a Japanese game/toy called the kendama. It's fun and challenging, but I wish I could play with people or have someone to learn with. Now, just to explain, the kendama is, you've probably seen it before, it's a variation of the ball and cup. It's kind of like you have... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks tricky.
Yeah, it is hard. There's like a ball that's on a string.
There's a point as well.
Yeah, and like you're supposed to flip it in between. There's like a cup. There's a cup on either side of this stick, and then there's one on the kind of like on the base, and then there's a point on the other side of the stick, and you kind of like flip it around and you do tricks. It's kind of like yo-yo-esque. Is my understanding of how they said toy/game/skill. In that, like, you can play with yo-yo, but you can also, like, do tricks and get good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a fushigi ball. This is something else that is not terrifying and confusing.
I'm just watching someone do tricks with it just to get a sense of, like, the level of skill we're talking about with this thing. You know what I mean? Like, what's the depths that we can go to?
Yeah, I feel like we are talking about, like, yo-yos, juggling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my word, this is quite amazing. Wow.
So you can get good at it, for sure.
Okay, this is cool. Okay, I'm in. I'll learn it with you. Okay. That's my advice. That's fun. That looks great.
All right, so Lonely and Learning says, it's really fun and challenging, but I wish I could play with people or have someone to learn with. I want to show people and teach them, but I don't want it to seem like I'm showing off. It's also a niche hobby, and I don't know how people will respond, so I'm a little self-conscious about it. How can I be chill about sharing my hobby with my friends and potentially inviting them to play with me?
Can I just say, I love our audience so much. Like, just truly filled with just the nicest, most sensitive, most thoughtful people in, like, do you know what I mean? This person is writing this message in, and it, like, the fact that you even care, like, the amount of people that are like, hey, here's my hobby, you know what I mean? And just, I just thank you for, like, this is lovely. It restores my faith in humanity whenever I get asked these questions. Because I'm like, this is so sweet. You could just be an ass and just do the opposite of what you're, do you know what I mean? It's just nice. It's very nice.
Jasper, can I suggest a name for people who listen to this podcast, like a real fandom name?
Oh, yeah.
I think that they're games and feelers. Because they really feel their feelings.
Oh, heart emojis. That's cute. That's really cute. Games and feelers.
Games and feelers.
Games and feelers.
The games and feelers are going to come out hard for our live show in Manchester on August 19th.
You better do it. We're going to have some feeling. We're going to be crying by the end of the night. We're going to have so many feelings.
I'm looking forward to it because I'm going to be jet lagged and people are going to be asking me advice questions.
Okay, so my advice for this, I love the question. It is interesting, right? Because there's a balance to be struck between finding a way of giving advice, but also a way of like actually enticing someone to play this with you. Because if you go too hard or too lightly, then they kind of like, oh, sorry, this is quite a lot, and they kind of knee-jerk kind of back away. Or if you go too light, it's like, they just don't really get why you like it. You know what I mean? So I think it is a tough balance to find. And like without knowing your friends and your friendship dynamic, it's kind of hard to sort of say exactly. But I think in a general sense, displaying why you love a thing, you know what I mean? Like what is it about this particular game that you loved? Like what did you first enjoy when you saw, what's like a trick that like you saw someone do and were like, whoa, that's sick. Maybe if you know that trick, you could do it. Because I don't think if you are coming at it with like from a place of like, I really genuinely love this thing, like, can I show you a trick? I would never take that as showing off, like, ever.
Right.
Like, that's just, like, really nice, and one of my friends is hyped about something, and I'm probably going to be hyped with you, because that's just, that's just what friends do. So, I don't think I would worry, unless you're, like, sat there at, like, every mealtime, every time you go to the movies, every time you go bowling, and there's just you playing with this thing, maybe at that point it's like, okay, listen, come on, like, you're showing off. Like, can you just cool it for us? We get it.
Hey, Jasper, can you put the kendama away for a second? I'm trying to talk to you about my relationship.
Yeah. I'm going through a really hard time right now.
It's like, no, look, the ball's going in the cup. I'm walking the dog.
It's just like, okay, can we? Sorry, it's just kind of really,
But you're not doing that. There's no way you're doing that.
Absolutely not. So that's what I'm saying. As long as you're not doing that, which I definitely you're not. I think that, showing them like a favorite trick or a little move or a, reason, maybe even teach them a little bit like about the history and stuff. Because a lot of people find that as like a fun gateway for these kinds of things. So they're like, oh, it's kind of fun learning something that's like steeped in like culture and, has cultural relevance and things like that. So that would be my 2 cents. What about you, Eric? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with everything you're saying. I think I would just want to set some like, I don't want to say boundaries, but like some expectations. I know what this person definitely wants. Is like, wow, me and my friends all do kendama together and we practice and it's totally fun. We're a kendama friend group. I think the best thing, the most realistic thing you can shoot for is, hey, do you want to see this new trick I came up with? Or do you want to see this new trick I learned? And then your friends say, yeah. And then you do, and they're like, nice. I love that you do that. I don't know if you can actively get your friends to participate because this is like a solo activity. Like this isn't like Ultimate Frisbee or Frisbee Golf or Battleship, right? You can't play with each other, even if it's something a little bit more niche or like Can Jam or that Spike Ball, So it is like, it's like, do you want to pick up my hobby with me is a tough ask. However, if they like it enough, and they still like it when you do it. And talk about how much time you put into it, the history of the whole thing. Then maybe one of your friends will be like, hey, where do I get one of those? And then maybe you can give them an old one or you can teach them how to do it. I think more you just don't feel like you need to hide it. I think is the base level advice.
Yes.
Just like, just show your friends, show them that you're excited about something. And hopefully by you doing it, then maybe someone else will pick it up. But unfortunately, I think it might be a little lonely, quote unquote, or it's a solo activity for you.
And also, here's another thing which I don't think we do enough of, like, go out and find people that like it.
That's what I was going to say.
Already, like, I think there's nothing wrong with finding a community or finding a little tribe of people who love this thing.
Go to a kendama meetup in your city. Like, I'm sure that exists.
There will be, for sure. So don't be afraid to, like, it's not like getting new friends, but it's like finding people in your life who, like, I don't know, this sounds weird because it makes me feel like you're like using them. I don't mean it in that way, but like, find people in your life that like scratch a certain itch for you. You know what I mean? Like,
good.
I have friends who I'm like, these are my football dudes. You know what I mean? We don't really hang out that often and we don't talk about pretty much anything else, but like we get together and we're just football bros when we talk. You know what I mean? It's very, very different to the way I am with other people. And that's like a perfectly valid relationship, which satisfies a part of, something that I feel like I need or I want in my daily life. And that's cool. So I just, wouldn't be afraid to like, hey, it's fine if my closest friends aren't into this one thing that I'm also into. Like, you can have separate interests. And ultimately, I think the like Eric said, the better you get and the more you kind of like show a love and passion for it, the more likely it is that someone goes, oh, wait a second, let me see let me see that for let me just like check this out for a second. Let me see what this the ball goes on here. Okay, I'm in. You know what I mean? That's I think it's more
the
like
ball can go on all these places. Let's go. All right.
whoa, it can go on the bottom. Whoa. Okay,
Wow.
I'm in. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, not all of your friends need to be all things. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. The thing that you need to look out for is your friends should support you in your endeavor and should not make you feel bad for doing it as long as you're not being super annoying about the kendama, which I don't think you are.
Which, again, the fact that you're asking this question tells me that you are not being annoying about
Exactly.
it. You're being, if anything, too shy about it. In my head, I'm picturing this person, what was the name again?
Lonely and Learning.
Lonely and Learning. I'm picturing Lonely and Learning sat kind of like next to their friend on the sofa watching a movie and just sort of making eye contact with them and then looking at the kendama being like, huh?
Kendama and chill.
You know, like that's what I'm imagining is happening at the moment. And then they're like wondering why their friends aren't into it. It's like, no, cool. You can just talk to them. It's fine. Like, you know, just talk to your friends about what you love. It's like totally cool. Because I know I've definitely done that before where I'm like, oh, what's that over there? It looks like a really cool game.
Hey, I know we're all over here for a video game night, so we have Mario Odyssey 2, or we could play with this kendama. But I'm fine either way. Whichever way.
It's video game night. It's video game night. You know what I mean? So like the kendama doesn't. It kind of counts. We actually played Kendama 4 on the PlayStation 5. So
yeah, I played a lot of Kendama 4 on Xbox Live. I spent a lot of time in middle school playing Kendama 4.
Kendama 4 Pro Baller.
Double kill, triple kill, killtacular.
Now you can play it together. Dude, we've done it. We solved it. Make a kendama fighting video game so that you can play with your friends. But what it is, it's like the Stepmaster, whatever it's called, like the old dance mats.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you plug the wire because it's old, right? It's got to be oldie, right?
Right.
Just no wireless things. You plug it in to your own kendama, and then it registers, and then you fight each other with kendamas.
Jasper,
moves.
I actually spent $150, and I have a Wavebird kendama, so it's actually wireless. It's incredible.
And it lights up on the it's like see-through plastic, and you can see all the wires on the inside.
Yeah, it's atomic purple, my kendama. I've also been looking them up a little bit. There are some very cool, like black and white striped kendamas. Obviously, it's supposed to be like traditional wood, but you know there's some epic kendamas out there.
Yeah, truly.
Now, also, you can just buy your friends epic kendamas, and even if they don't play, they will have it and put it in their room.
Oh, I'm seeing there's ones that like they've got this like cracked effect.
Yeah, that was the one I was looking at.
They're like black with like red cracks. Like, ooh, I would own that and just have it in my house. It's cool.
Jasper, if I wasn't bringing a ton of Pokemon merch over to your house to put in your house, I would have gotten you a kendama. But this, I mean, truly, I know we're goofing here at the end, but you're gonna be okay. Lonely and Learning, you're gonna be all right.
Yeah. And you're going to find someone and they're going to want to play the kendama with you. It's going to be great.
All right, we have a kind of an emotional question here, Jasper. Are you ready?
Ooh, okay. Take me to a place.
This is from a Mexican introvert who wrote in with that name.
Yeah.
I did not give it that name. That's their name that they wrote in with. Him. Hi, smiley face emoji.
Whoa, that's not very introverted. That seems...
Yeah, you were extroverted from the beginning.
Wow. That's
like
pretty extroverted high there that you wrote. Because Eric reads things exactly as they're written. So that energy was how you wrote it.
I'm Ron Burgundy. All right, here we go.
Exactly.
I've been following your podcast for a few months and even went back to listen to old episodes. Thank you.
Yay.
I am in a group of friends who've been together since college. We became friends for our shared love and interest in gaming. We've known each other for almost 14 years now, and we were pretty close. As with any relationship, the distance and time we put into the group has varied over the years. Since 2019, we started playing D&D. A couple months ago, two of our group had a fallout. They became closer with each other because they worked for the same company for a few years. But it seems like they broke up. They had a friend break up for some reason. After their fallout, one of them left our group chats and our D&D party. He said he did not know if he would be back and even said that he did not like the direction the campaign was going. The DM is the other friend. I'm going to put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that sentence in a second.
Okay.
I am not sure of asking if we're going to play again with the people left in the party. I am uncomfortable. Also, it affects me because my gaming time with my friends is one of the few social gatherings I seek and want. See? Introverted Jasper. Without that time, my already limited social time has reduced significantly. Thanks a lot for reading this. I think the question is, what should I do next? First of all, I'd like to say, well, hey, you know what's an epic burn on someone you no longer like? Say they're bad at DMing. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, wow. I didn't like the direction this is going in, so you just want to tell me my adventures? Crap? Like, wow.
Hey,
okay.
Jim, you're untrustworthy, and also, the thing you do creatively for free where you come up with a world, I think it's bad.
I don't like the direction this is going in. Yeah, truly, it is unconscionably uncouth for me to be like, yeah, like exactly like you said, this thing that you do for free that you just love doing and that you get joy out of doing, I hate it. Like,
I think it's bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is like someone